Hey guys, SpinoDude here and welcome back to another video. Marvin, why don't you bring out the figure we're going to take a look at today? Thank you, Marvin. Alrighty, so today guys, I am super excited to be taking a look at another Eofauna figure. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Eofauna Palaeoloxodon, which was released in 2018? Yeah, I think it was 2018. I will double check on that. But this figure comes from dansdinosaurs.com. I want to send a thank you out to Dan for your great service and very efficient shipping as always. And without further ado, let's jump into the review. Now, you guys probably know we don't review very many prehistoric mammals on the channel, and that's simply because I tend to just like dinosaurs better. They're my favorite prehistoric creatures overall. So I rarely do reviews on prehistoric mammals and such, but this is one prehistoric mammal figure that I have been wanting ever since it was first revealed, and I finally got my hands on it, and it is just an absolute stunner of a piece. This thing is incredible. The detail, the paint, the posing just all comes together and just sells this as a real animal. I mean, as it should, because this comes from Eofauna Scientific Research. They build all their animals digitally from the bones to the musculature in a computer, and they make the figures that way, which I think is really, really cool. But before we take a look at the actual figure, we're going to take a look at the trading card that it comes with, or it's kind of like a trading card. But you can see that they refer to this as a straight-tusked elephant. That's more of the common name for the Palaeoloxodon. There are a bunch of different species of Palaeoloxodon. Eofauna chose to make Palaeoloxodon anticus, and to be honest, I think I would have liked it if they just had Palaeoloxodon appear instead of the straight-tusked elephant. Maybe make that smaller and put it below, like Palaeoloxodon, the straight-tusked elephant. I think that would be really cool, because I don't know, this one, just with these words here, it kind of conveys that this is just a regular everyday elephant, which is what it kind of looks like when you look at it at first glance, and it just has straight tusks. I mean, it's fine, it's not that big of a deal, that's just my own personal taste. And Eofauna, like I was saying, chose to make Palaeoloxodon anticus. As you can see on the card right there, there's a size comparison, very large mammal, and there's a bunch of stats there. You can pause the video if you want to read those. It says place Europe, and there are those little shuriken things again at the top. The Palaeoloxodon appears to have 3.5 out of 5 shuriken symbol star thingy-madoohickers. But anyway, that is the trading card that this guy comes with. Now we can jump into the figure. So this is Palaeoloxodon anticus. And fun fact, actually, there's another species of this animal called Palaeoloxodon pneumaticus, if I remember correctly. I'll correct myself on screen if I'm wrong. Palaeoloxodon pneumaticus is actually a contender for the largest land mammal of all time that we know of, which is pretty insane. I always thought that belonged to Paraceratherium, but upon researching a bit, it says that the other species of Palaeoloxodon pneumaticus, not this one, this is anticus of course, could potentially have been the largest land mammal that we know of right now, which is really cool. But anyway, this figure is just so elegant and beautiful to look at overall. The pose is just amazing, and while it does look like it would be stable, like you can just set it down, you can see there is a little bit of a wobble to it, which is unfortunate. Now, I do know my friends Eric and Gibson, or as you guys know, probably know them as Dino Man and Bioniclesaurus on YouTube, both have this figure as well, and theirs are more stable than mine. So it looks like I just probably got a bit of a dud in terms of the stability. Like this back left foot on the Palaeoloxodon here does not quite sit flush with the ground, so it might just be a tiny bit warped. Not a big deal though, it's sturdy enough, and I'm not going to be tossing this figure around or playing with it or anything. I'm just going to be popping it on my shelf. And the posture is just absolutely amazing. I love this foot that's being lifted off the ground. It has so much movement and it looks so elegant and beautiful. It really captures what is majestic about elephants, in my opinion, just with this. Oh, it's so good. The trunk, I love how the trunk is curling between the tusks and going off to the side there. That is probably like my favorite part of the posing on this figure. That just adds so much to it. The tusks are beautifully done as well. They have some nice texturing going on, even a bit of weathering with the paint, which I think is great. It really sells the realism of the figure. The coloration is simple but beautifully executed. You can see the main body consists of a dark gray color with a lighter gray color dry brushed on top of it there. And then on the face we have like almost the color changes for me in certain lights. In some light it looks like an orangish browny color, in some lights it looks like a peachy pink color, but they do have a lighter, more reddish color painted going down the top of the trunk there. The edges of the ears also have that same color, and also now that I'm looking at the figure, it looks like the chest right here in between the front two legs has that same color as well. So I think that adds a little bit of, it breaks up the color scheme a little bit, and it definitely adds a lot. Now I've seen some people say that they think these colors are boring and not very creative. Well, that's fair enough, but they're elephant colors. It works so extremely well, I cannot complain. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And if we zoom in on this figure quickly and take a look at the detail, you can see that the sculpted detail is fantastic. Very elephant-like skin, of course, going down the body. Here is a look at the tail here, which ends in a little black floof of hair. I think that's a nice little touch. You can see we have a prominent ridge going down the back of the Palaeoloxodon there. That flows right down the tail and goes up into the shoulder area, which flows into the top of the head. The legs are beautifully sculpted, and if we take a look at the feet here, they are beautifully sculpted as well. Absolutely love the detailing around the toes, and I love the bend in this foot once again. That is beautifully sculpted there. You can see the feet in the back there as well, beautifully done. Even the bottom of the feet have some minor detailing put into it. They could have easily left that completely flat, but that's very nice attention to detail there. Nice detailing on the stomach as well, and also on the head. You see the interior of the mouth has been sculpted and painted in a fleshy pink color, and you even have the elephantine teeth way in the back of the mouth there. So they really didn't skimp out on details on this model. It's absolutely beautiful. And then of course the eye, if we take a look at it there, is done in an orange color, painted very neatly, and it has a black pupil. I do really like the eye color. Makes it stand out, but it's not too distracting, if you know what I mean. And yeah, that just about does it as far as detailing and sculpt work goes on this figure here. Now this figure is very heavy. It's a lot heavier than it looks, and it's about the same size that I thought it would be in hand, maybe a little bit larger than I expected, to be honest. But Marvin, why don't you bring out the flexi ruler? Thank you, Marvin. Alright, we've got our trusty flexi ruler here, so let's give this Palaeoloxodon a measure. So in terms of the length from the tip of the tail to the tip of the tusks, we are looking at 8.5 inches long, which is about 22.5 centimeters. And in terms of the height at the highest point, which is the top of the head here, we are looking at about 4 3/4 inches, almost 5 inches, which is about 12 centimeters. And for a quick comparison, let's scoot the Palaeoloxodon off to the side here, and let's bring in the Eofauna Giganotosaurus, which we just recently reviewed. Now these two guys are actually in scale with each other. They are both in 1/35 scale, which is awesome. So you can get a good idea of just how big these two were next to each other. And if you're familiar with how big Giganotosaurus is, this is a very big theropod. You can just see how big Palaeoloxodon was as a mammal. It was absolutely massive. But anyway guys, that is going to do it for this review on the Eofauna Palaeoloxodon. Definitely one of my absolute favorite figures in my collection. And also check this out guys, I got some trading card stands in the mail the other day, so I can display the collector's cards next to the figures. Next to the Eofauna figures, that is. But anyway guys, if you want to get this figure for yourself, I recommend checking out dansdinosaurs.com. I'll put a link down below in the description. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a link down below and subscribe to the channel. Also leave a comment telling me what you think of this Eofauna Palaeoloxodon. So thank you so much guys for watching, and as always I will see you in my next video. So take care, and bye bye.